Well, for my July 6th video, I wanted to address the issue of Alan Weisselberg, who's the CFO of the Trump Organization, who's recently been indicted by the Democrat prosecutor for New York on basically what are tax evasion charges. And, of course, this is kind of the culmination of this, I guess, years-long battle to get to the Trump Organization tax records. And so this plays into a question of what we might call bigger Democrat strategy, or are the Democrats even operating with a strategy? So let me, so as I said, if you like these videos, again, please subscribe, give me a like, which helps out that algorithm, and forward the links to anybody that would be interested, because I like to get more members here. I appreciate all the members we have. Okay, moving forward real quickly with this. It looks like they've got some detailed spreadsheets, as the story goes, which seems to document that he had a certain salary level, and that what essentially was being done, he was being given a variety of benefits, and I guess apartments and cars or whatever, tangible benefits from the Trump, paid for by the Trump Organization, and that those costs were being deducted from his actual salary and not reported as income. So that effectively, if his salary was, I think, was something like $925,000 a year, something like that, essentially what they'd be doing is, let's say that all these benefits, just to make a round number, add up to some large number, let's say a couple of $100,000 a year. I don't know what it was. It doesn't really matter. The point is illustrated here. Then he would be paid that much less in salary, and then it wouldn't be reported as taxable income, so he was getting tax-free benefit from it. And that it was very calculated. It wasn't coincidental, let's say, is what's being charged. And they have detailed spreadsheets that document exactly how this was done and how the amounts of how the sum of the off-the-record benefits plus the on-the-record reported to the tax authorities benefits add up to what they really wanted to pay him. Which means it looks like he's been indicted, and it would look like they've got a pretty strong case against him. Now, the Trump people are arguing, no, it's just political persecution. I would argue it's both. That is to say, they probably have a legal case they can successfully prosecute, particularly with a New York "we all hate Trump" jury and a New York "we all hate Trump" judge, right? But and I guess an ordinary Joe out there in the world that got caught with this probably would be prosecuted. But if you were a Democrat politician, would you be prosecuted? Well, only if you were falling out of favor, I would say. So, it's one of those kind of two-tier justice things again, except that Trump should have realized that going in as a Republican, they would go after him, particularly taking as strong an anti-establishment view as he has. It's amazing that he's survived this long without this coming to light, which is interesting. And of course, if their angle in New York is the state taxes, but there would also be obviously federal taxes, and yet the Trump Organization has been through, as I understand from what Trump has said, a lot of audits, and this was never revealed in that, which could lead to follow-on federal charges, I would assume. So, at any rate, if the Democrats are interested in pursuing this whole line of attack, which they may very well be, so far, Alan Weisselberg, who's the CFO here again, has not turned state's evidence and pled not guilty, and so far is defending himself. Now, on the other hand, we've been hearing the liberal Washington Post, New York Times version of truth, and we know that they often have their version of truth, and the real truth disagrees. So it'll be really interesting to see, exactly how the defense proceeds in this case and how much luck they have with it. Because I think the Trump people have claimed that they consulted tax experts and everything they did was on the up and up. And again, they've gone through all these IRS audits for all these years, and apparently this sort of thing has not come up, I guess, huh? So I don't know. I mean, we're kind of in a, But what I'm getting to here is something different, though, and that is, let's assume for the moment that they are able, whether fair or unfair, to successfully prosecute Trump. Well, what do they actually do with him? I mean, okay, let's say they actually sentence him to prison. Okay, let's just say they did that. would putting Trump in prison be an advantage to the Democrats or not? And that's an interesting question, because I think in a sense, in terms of the hardcore Trump supporters, it would definitely turn them into a bit of a martyr, wouldn't it? It would be seen largely, the legal facts really don't matter to the general public, in my opinion, because they don't really comprehend the legal facts, and even so, they don't really think that way. You know, Trump is guilty regardless if he's innocent to a Democrat, and he's innocent regardless if he's guilty to a Trump supporter. And the independents are probably more concerned about other things like, is there going to be a riot in my neighborhood, or is my taxes going up, or whatever, or what somebody said that was offensive that day. Or my point is that this could backfire in the sense that they might actually do the following two things. One, actually take Trump out as a 2024 candidate from their point of view, but at the same time make a martyr out of him. And he will be claiming it as political persecution and so forth. And I don't know how long, what would actually end up happening as far as sentencing and all that kind of thing. But the point is, that would leave the path free for a non-Trump candidate to run and to basically take on a kind of a be Trump without Trump, if you will. A person would basically advocate very much the same policies he does, but do so in a slicker and more palatable way to the sensitive ears that are out there in the public. And if that were to happen, they might actually end up electing this person, especially considering how terrible the Biden administration's policies have been. If they continue to be, which they probably will, probably get worse, then the one thing is true is that Trump has never won the popular vote, in my opinion. He did win the electoral vote in 16, and I think it's controversial who really should have won the electoral vote in 20 because of all the oddball quirks that were done to the electoral system that year, the changes in rules that were arbitrary and often illegal, and the full-scale effort by the Democrats to win by any means necessary, I think, including bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars to do things like put up, ballot drop boxes and all kind of activities like that. And who knows how much that money somehow filtered into, criminal elements doing vote fraud and things of that sort. We just don't know, and probably, truthfully, may never know, actually. Although there are audits going on in places, particularly in Arizona, I'm very looking forward to seeing what the outcome of that is. But anyway, I just want to throw this out, that this could be a mistake on the part of the Democrats to try to take Trump out this way, because they may very well end up making him into a martyr and create a situation where an alternative candidate who would be very much in the Trump mode as far as policy in so many ways, but not in personality. So anyway, I'll close this video for now, and if you like my comments, you can follow me on my social media as well. I'm on Twitter and Parler and Gab at the same address, which you can get in the descriptions below this video. Thanks a lot.